way of Malaysia pretty straightforwardly. 21-14, 21-17. Now into the second game. Kim Ga Eun, another home favourite. She's in the women's singles semi-final against Asuka Takahashi of Japan. Taking a look at the path to the final. Could be all Japan affair, potentially. If Takahashi and Miyazaki make it there. Just awaiting the players to come out here on court one.
Court number one, please welcome technical officials for the semi-final of women's singles. Umpire Charles Wang from Chinese Taipei, serves the Korea Federation from Sudirman. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome players. Kim Ga Eun from Korea.
Kim Ga Eun first to make her way out. Of course, got that home support.
Asuka Takahashi from Japan.
Followed by Asuka Takahashi. There's a large Japanese contingent here at this Korean Masters, and well represented as well in these semi-finals, Jeff, today.
Definitely, we're going to see lots of Japanese players today. But in this one here, Kim Ga Eun being the top seed, it's going to be a pretty big ask for Takahashi.
Yeah, first meeting between these players.
It's red, it's black.
And as you'll see
Black, red.
in a short while, a big gulf in the rankings as well.
You receive, so you serve, which court? This side.
Yeah, she's a hardy performer, Kim Ga Eun. Doesn't get phased. Has taken some big scalps on her day. Very capable of being a world beater. We'll see if there's any of that drift that Jeff mentioned earlier. We'll see in a bit. But first of all, Kim Ga Eun is 25, 172 in height. Currently 19th, though she has played a high of 15th in the world. That was achieved in March of 2020. As part of that gold medal winning team at the recent Asian Games women's team event. Hasn't dropped a game so far in the tournament. So it's been pretty easy for her. She's got 2 titles to her name, by the way, the Hyderabad Open in 2018 and the Luxury China Masters in 2019. And she was runner-up against Bae Won-sung in the Australian Open earlier this year. Asuka Takahashi is 23. She's currently 73rd, but she has been as high as 47th. That was in April of last year. She too has not dropped a game, but look at that against Su Won-chin. Very, very tight against the 3rd seed. That'll give her massive confidence. Has won a number of titles on the International Challenge and Series level. Most recently the Thailand International this year. And also a runner-up in the Super 100 Vietnam Open in 2019. She was part of the Japanese Yuba Cup team that won silver in 2020. Charles Wang of Chinese Taipei is our umpire for this one. Assisted by Lakpriya Edrisinghe from Sri Lanka.
Ready to play.
Service judge. You mentioned there a big ask for Takahashi. I suppose what's in her favour is that Kim Ga Eun won't have seen much of her, and that maybe the element of surprise might stand her in good stead.
Definitely a player like Kim Ga Eun, I think, of course, would have done her pre-analysis, pre-video analysis, but also when they get on court, these top players, she's so experienced that she'll probably adapt quite quickly, I would say. But in this situation, I think Takahashi just needs to bring her game to her. She needs to throw it out all on the table and give it everything. No holding back here.
When you're playing a higher
Ladies and gentlemen,
player, we'll come back to
on my right, Kim Ga Eun, Korea. And on my left, Asuka Takahashi, Japan. Kim Ga Eun to serve, love ball, play.
Kim Ga Eun with 110 wins, 89 losses in her career overall on the World Tour. Well, long rally to start things off, and it's Takahashi who gets the first point of the ball. I wonder if this sets the tone.
Love.
A really good first rally for both players, using all four corners of the court here, getting some good feeling around how it feels to be moving full court.
Takahashi just 53 matches on the World Tour and majors, 31 wins, 22 losses. Sort of inexperienced in comparison to her opponent. She's got the first 2 points.
2, love.
And she's been in 3 previous semi-finals on the World Tour. Won the last one, the Vietnam Open, that was 2019. This has been 4 years since she's been in a World Tour semi-final. It's a big moment for her. And she's started off very well here, Jeff.
3, love.
Really good start. That error from Kim Ga Eun just now, but in the previous point, just going for the smash winner. And I think that's where, just based on the first few points, she's really got to go for attacking shots, add the speed into the rally. Because we all know how strong physically Kim Ga Eun is, so if she just rallies all day, it's going to be a very long and hard day.
She'll want to cut out those sort of unforced errors as well.
4, love.
It's a dream start here for Takahashi. These are shots that you'd feel someone of her ability should be making, Kim.
Definitely. I think that was a beautifully constructed point there, getting the shuttle behind Takahashi here, and just open court, going for too much.
Takahashi has lost her last 2 matches against Koreans in Indonesia Masters this year and Australian Open last year. First point on the board finally for Kim Ga Eun.
1, 5.
She's a little better about herself now, sure.
And crowd helping her along here as well.
Yeah.
Service over.
It's, not really following the script at the moment. Kim Ga Eun, who's been in 9 previous semi-finals. She said she's pretty experienced. Won 5 of those 9, and most recently the Australian Open, meeting Aya Ohori. That was in August. a bit better, isn't it, from Kim?
Service over. 2-6.
Great straight attacking shot. A little bit short on the back in here by Takahashi. Well placed smash.
I just wonder, Jeff,
Service over.
you know, sometimes playing at home, does that add that little bit more pressure on you?
I think it can work definitely both ways.
Yeah.
So the home crowd can really pump you up. If you're in a positive state, then they can really build you up there. But at the same time, it can also put that extra pressure on.
Right. The expectation as well,
The expectation, letting a home crowd down. It's not an easy thing to manage. Ooh, what happened there?
Yeah, hesitate.
Just lost her footing there, I think, and then
Service over.
put herself in a tricky position to retrieve the next shot.
7.
Well, Kim Ga Eun, you know, she looks back at her career Masters record. She's been in the previous semi-final in 2016. A couple other quarterfinals as well after that. So she knows she's
4-7.
looking at uncharted territory by going into a final for the first time. If she can win this, and this is a match she's expected to win. So that's actually added pressure as well. Now, when you're a lower ranked player,
5.
these are the things you really need to cut out, right? Because that's handling it on a plate, these unforced errors.
Yeah, and I think also because she has this lead, sometimes there's a few thoughts that pop into your mind.
Snatching at that, perhaps. Kim Ga
Service over. 8.
There was an interesting expression on her face as well.
Yeah, frustration there because she knew she could cut this off. It was basically going to be close to a winner, I think, if that went over.
I think I made that 4 or 5 unforced errors now of the first 8 points that Takahashi has won. I think a reset is in order, maybe at the interval or something.
Potentially, yeah. I do feel she's warming into it a little bit more now, though.
Right. It's gone long. Another one.
9-5.
So when you are the underdog and you're not expected to win, when you start taking a lead here, sometimes those expectations on yourself change. So you can start to put more pressure on yourself even though that you're the underdog. Interesting to see how Takahashi can maintain this lead.
What Kim Ga Eun needs more of.
Service
Outright
over.
winners.
6-9.
Takahashi got to the quarterfinals last year, so she's already done better than that.
Seven, 9.
Variation, the work there from Takahashi.
Service over. 10-7.
I think Kim Ga Eun's just feeling a little bit out of place on court. You can see each time in the rally, she's often looking down at the line when she's hitting the rear court shot, kind of checking whether the shuttle is in or not. We've seen that in the last few rallies, so still could be some signs she's not that comfortable on the court.
So she's mixing up with these unforced errors and these great winners. It's been a real mixed bag, hasn't it?
Bit short on that cross clear though, making it a bit easier for Kim Ga Eun to cut that off.
So it's over.
Really nicely done by Takahashi. She goes into the interval with a 3-point lead here in game 1. 11-8 to the Japanese shuttler.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Asuka?
Now, I mentioned earlier that this is the second semi-final that Kim Ga Eun has been here at the Korea Masters. The first one, 2016, she played the great Ga Eun,
8,
who was 5th in the world then, and Kim, 237th. So she'll have known what Takahashi's sort of feel. I mean, there's a smaller gap here in the rankings between them, but still. Now, is this the reset that we talked about? Is this what she needed just to gather herself?
She really needs a good start here after the break.
Good. Couple of points in a row here.
10, 11.
That's not something she's really done too much of.
It's over.
Right in the corner.
10.
Great placement there. Exactly what I was saying before.
Yeah.
Checking that shuttle, where is it before she's thinking. You have a look at the replay. She's looking down. She's. Oh, sorry, not that one. This next one here. She's looking down. She's looking.
Quite clearly, isn't it?
There.
Now, that's worth a challenge.
I think that's 11, worth a challenge.
12.
And that's a shot she went wide with early on. Do you remember that? Oh, a coach felt that was way, way out. He was quite vocal about it. He kind of gestured. Here we go. Oh, it's in, I think.
That replay makes me think it was in.
Well, she had the right to challenge. This has been excellent from Kim Ga Eun.
Again, not enough length and height on that clear, so easy for Kim Ga Eun to cut that one off.
And for the first time in this match, Kim Ga Eun has the lead.
12.
Remember, at the interval, she was trailing 8-11. So it's 5-1 since the break.
Kim
here.
Ga Eun challenges KOR.
The crowd willing it to be in. Which it is.
Correction in.
It really is incredible how
14.
a little
12.
break of 30 seconds or so can just absolutely change something.
Play.
6-1 since the break, since the interval.
I feel now Takahashi is just trying to force it a little bit now. She hasn't been really having any success in her clears. They've been a bit short, and Kim Ga Eun's been able to cut them off in attack. So she's going for the attack there.
Service over. 13-15.
From
Great
Kim Ga Eun, but she
there.
can't recover. Takahashi's aggressive, isn't she?
Very aggressive, and
14.
really good follow-up there.
15.
Well, this is only the second ever player she's been up against, Takahashi, in the top 20. The previous one was An Young, also Korean, of course, last year at the Australian Open. She lost that quite convincingly, 15-21, 9-21.
14,
She was 63rd in the world,
15.
then of course An Young was number 2. Well, you're not having that experience of playing too many top 20 players. It is a big step, isn't it?
Can definitely be a big step.
But she's giving a great account of herself, isn't she?
Challenges.
Now, that's a challenge from Kim, but I thought that was beautifully placed initially.
I'm going to agree with you as well. I think that was well in, and just a really good hold there. In the last few points, you can see Takahashi really taking the net up a bit higher and forcing Kim Ga Eun, putting a bit more pressure on it. Of course, when you are able to take the shuttle earlier, you have a lot more options, just like that one, a bit of a hold, deceptive push down the line.
Let's see, yep.
Plum on the line again.
Challenge unsuccessful. 1 challenge remaining.
Boy, this is tight. 15 all.
15 all. Play. Service over. 16-15.
When you were talking about the playing against the top players, I think this is where it really counts. You know that the top players at 15 all or at the late stages of the set, they have the ability to change gears, go up a gear if they need to.
That's the difference, isn't it?
Another misjudgment there.
Service over.
Well and truly, and yeah.
16.
I think she's been really struggling with the rear court, the back line here.
Yeah.
With the amount of time she's been checking before hitting. She's left, I think that's 3 now.
Yeah.
Where she's left and they've gone in.
Oh, very clearly. Lovely from Kim again.
Service over. 17-16.
Trading points at the moment, these two.
Good punch clear to set that one up, though. Open up the court for the cross court.
She's finding her lines now. Kim Ga Eun.
18-16.
There was a graph of one axis as winners and one is on unforced errors. It'd be a very interesting one, wouldn't it?
Good finish there. Really good composure. So that whole rally, Kim Ga Eun was in control, pushing Takahashi around the court. Didn't go for too much. Waited that opportunity short enough to go for something a bit extra. And still not really a full smash, just a half smash there to make sure that she can recover, but really, really good placement.
3 points to lead now, Kim Ga Eun.
Exactly what we were saying, just in that 15-all scenario.
Yeah.
Then it's a 4-1 lead currently to Kim Ga Eun from 15-all.
The class coming through now, Kim Ga Eun.
20 game point.
4 game points to her. We know it's cold outside. And certainly, Kim Ga Eun took time to warm up in this one, but she finally got there. Takahashi really starting this one well, Jeff.
Started really well. I think a lot of nerves from Kim Ga Eun, but now with the first set under her belt, I think she's going to feel a lot more comfortable now.
Kim Ga Eun takes the first game then against Asuka Takahashi, 21-16.
Twenty seconds. 20 seconds.
So, Jeff, which Kim Ga Eun is going to turn up now in game 2?
I think the
Second
more
game.
comfortable Kim Ga Eun. I think we're going to see
Love
this
ball.
form carry from
Yeah.
the
Play.
first set into the second. still checking that rear court line
Yeah,
again.
you just have a quick look.
Again. So,
love.
Is that something that sometimes just sticks in your mind and you can't get rid of that? It
yeah,
becomes a
look,
big bugbear.
that downward look and then hitting that one out.
Wrong footing. By the way, just going back to your point,
2 love.
would Takahashi be noticing that as well? That Kim is sort of checking herself?
I think definitely.
And is there something that you might want to try and exploit? The uncertainty of your opponent?
I think so, but it wouldn't. It can be a little bit distracting if you overthink it as well, I think.
It's over.
Yeah, you can't manufacture that all the time, can you?
Exactly.
2.
Lucky net cord there.
Well, this time she didn't really have to check it.
2
Keep going.
all.
Really good defensive play by Kim Ga Eun there. As soon as she gets out of trouble, then she's back kind of in a really stable position again.
Service over. 3 2.
That one works in favor of Takahashi. Who will look back at the plus points of that previous game. I know she's lost that by 5 in the end. But there was plenty to admire about. I mean, I suppose you know that if you're going to sit back and be passive against a high-ranked player, you're not going to get anywhere. You have to take it to your opponent, right?
Definitely do. And I think that she did that really well. I think that the thing she lacked in was some of the shot quality, though.
Right. But you liked her approach. You admired her resolve in that first game, didn't you?
4
I admire her
3.
activeness to try to dominate the point and take the initiative.
Right.
Not just sit back and wait for Kim Ga Eun to do what she does, but try to take it to her. But you fall into these risks like that shot. They're trying to push too fast, too early.
Right.
And it just gets cut off by Kim Ga Eun.
5
Very
3.
different sort of start in this second game. From the first, Takahashi, remember, was 5 love up. Sent sprawling there, the Japanese shuttler.
6 3.
Moving around quite nicely now.
Exactly the start that she wanted in this second set to carry over that confidence and, I guess, certainty in herself into this second game. Because even when you've won the first, if you don't get a good start in the second, you can easily have doubts in the mind. So if you get a good start in the second, really positive.
This one she lets go. She gets that one right. Might be the first one, I think.
7 3.
I think this is the Kim Ga Eun we're used to seeing. Absorbing attacks, defending, and then just being solid, just being a really solid player on court.
she's starting to build a head of steam here, Kim Ga Eun. 5 points in a row. They were at 3-all just a short while ago.
Kim Ga Eun challenges.
So a challenge here from Kim as she looks up to the roof of this massive arena. And while we're waiting for this, Jeff, do you feel, you talked about how the drift had kind of changed in the second game of the mixed doubles match. What about here so far?
I don't find that there's much drift at all, to be honest.
Right.
We're seeing both players hit out in the rear court on both sides. And that is
by a pretty thin margin here. It is in. To Kim Ga Eun's delight, I'm sure.
3.
Even though she's not showing too much of it, but she leads by 6 now. Very, very good run of points. 7 in a row for Kim. It's all going very nicely for Kim Ga Eun. Probably how people would have thought this would have gone prior to the match starting. She leads 11-3 in the second game, having already taken the first.
Twenty seconds. Please. Eleven, 3. Play.
So Kim Ga Eun now. Let's see if that interval has had any shift in momentum here in Takahashi's favour. The lead though is very good here from Kim. She's definitely on a roll.
3.
A good variation on that cross net as well. We haven't really seen her play too many of those cross nets when she's coming forward like that. So really good variation and not going for too much. Ready to play more shots in that rally if need be. Not making those unforced errors like we saw in the first.
Well, she'll be relieved to have finally stopped that run of 9 points in a row for Kim Ga Eun. But it's a big climb here for Asuka Takahashi.
Play.
Excellent work from Kim.
Service over. 13.
You almost wonder, where was this in the first game for so much of that first game? Sometimes you just need a bit of time to hit your groove, don't you?
Hit your groove and also just find the confidence to go for those shots.
Right.
14.
When you're nervous, you don't see the game as clearly. You can't read the game as clearly. And so your anticipation is not as good.
so good now, Kim Ga Eun. And I suppose, Jeff, going back to what you said earlier about seeing things clearly and getting rid of those nerves, perhaps, that's where the coach plays an important part, right?
Asuka?
Yeah, definitely, because it's another set of eyes, it's another set of ears, it's another kind of sounding board for you to, instead of having to figure it out all yourself, especially when it's not so clear in your mind, you've got someone to tell you, hey, this is the game plan, this is what we need to do, and it can be really, really useful to have that extra, I guess, that extra backup when you're not seeing it as well yourself.
Which makes someone like Cho Tian-Chen even more impressive that he doesn't have a coach.
Very much a debated topic.
It is. Just won the High Open, didn't he, Cho Tian-Chen?
5-50.
After a bit of a slump, actually, by his high standards. It's a whopping 10-point lead here, Kim Ga Eun now. Looks in such control, Kim.
It's over.
She's completely dominating this.
5.
You're just absorbing those attacks, just seeing it so much clearer in her mind.
Whereas before, it was very obvious that she was checking herself, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was just reacting. She was just reacting to whatever came instead of reading the players we know she can do so well.
No, it's okay. Shut up. So it's over. 6-16.
The net was hit.
I think that looked okay in my book based on the replay.
But that is such a tough one, isn't it?
To call it.
To call for the umpire. Oh.
At the time.
Yeah.
Ridiculously hard. Good call by the umpire, though, I think.
Yeah. Also, Kim fighting for a point when she's 10 up. She's really competitive now.
Oh. 7-16.
What she's struggled to do in this second game is put on a run of points. Takahashi, her best has been 2 in a row. Right now, she needs a lot more than that, though. Beautifully done.
Really good placement. Just being what I call a bully on the court. Just pushing her around, making her move 4 corners. You can see how much pressure she's under there. Just opening up that court and slotting it for a cross-court winner.
Well to that.
Look
at shot! One of the big shots of the day so far. Brilliant.
19-7.
So really struggling here under pressure. And just that awareness on court to know to direct that cross court.
Everything is in now.
Feeling really comfortable out there now.
7.
pulling out those defensive shots and then just easily slowing those into the corner.
13 match points here for a first ever Korean Masters final. It's good. Kim Ga Eun, after a bit of a hiccup in the first game, comes storming back and wins this in style.
I think that was the result we were thinking would happen based on world ranking.
Yeah. 21-16, 21-7.
Really positive that she was able to turn that around after a shaky start and then really just steamroll in that second set.
Well, Takahashi played a part, at least in that first game, but Kim Ga Eun too good in the second. The Korean top seed wins here, 21-16, 21-7. She's done it in 40 minutes against Asuka Takahashi. Up next, we've got our first men's singles semi-final. 1 away of Chinese Taipei. The 5th seed takes the 7th seed, Koki Watanabe of Japan, on. We are here at the Gwangju Women's University Stadium and into the 3rd match of semi-final day here at the 2023 Gwangju Korea Masters. Men's singles up next with the 5th seed from Chinese Taipei, 1 away.